Good evening friends, welcome everyone to Precision Price Action Trader webinar series. Today we are going to learn a very interesting concept, a very simple concept, a very logical concept and a very practical concept. Finally, it's a rule based concept. The title of today is The Art of Drawing Uptrend Lines. Come in, let's get into the story. So friends, if you try to draw a trend line, there are ideally three rules to it. I am a professional quant trader, mechanical trader, systematic trader, rule-based trader, as you all know. Now here, today, we are going to quantify the whole process of drawing an uptrend line. And to draw an uptrend line, you need primarily three fundamental rules. Which are they? Yep, you need two valleys. I'll explain you what a valley is. You need two highs where the second high is greater than the first high. And finally, you need two lows where the second low is greater than the first low. What does it mean? Look at this scenario. What do you see here? A typical W shape. Do you notice there are two cute valleys? Valleys A, ideally it's a V-shaped scenario. Can you see two V's which are there as a part of the overall pattern? So those two things are called as valleys. Alright, now let me go further and draw something more. Alright, you have two valleys, valley 1 and valley 2. Alright, you have an L1 and an L2. You also have a H1 and an H2. Now please try to do a simple comparison. You have two valleys here. Do you recognize that H2 is greater than H1? H2 is here, H1 is here, H2 is greater than H1, alright. Third, L2 must be greater than L1. L2 is here, L1 is here, L2 is at a higher level compared to L1. When these three simple rules are passed, then only you can draw a trend line like this. Then only you can draw a trend line like this. Let me take another example. Watch out. Alright, do you see two valleys there? Yes or no? V1, V2. Two lows, L1, L2. Two highs, H1, H2. Ideally, you need two valleys. H2 should be greater than H1, L2 should be greater than L1. When the rule is passed, you can draw a trend line. Is it not simple? Let me take a slightly different scenario. Can you draw a trend line here? Think about it. You have to apply your three basic rules. You have two valleys, yes. You have your L1 and L2. Your L2 is definitely greater than L1. And what about H1 and 2? More or less same level. You have to wait for the H2 to go to a decent height. Once it goes there, then you can happily draw this trend line. One more scenario. Can you draw a trend line? Check two rules, two valleys. Okay. Second, is L2 greater than L1? No. So this is not a valid pattern. Come over. Let's see some examples in the system. Okay. That's a value 1. That is a high that is formed. Value 2, value 1, value 2. See, 2 values. H1 is, H2 is greater than H1, L2 is greater than L1. So all rules are passed. Can I draw a trend line between these two? Think about it. Apply the 3 simple rules. 2 values, H3 is greater than H2, L3 is greater than L2. So the rules are passed. So you can draw another trend line. Very simple, straightforward process. Alright, let's get into the charts to see some more scenarios. Alright, sounds good. So let's go one by one. Which is the stock? Airtel? Alright, watch out carefully. Look at this, friends. Okay, the color is red only. Let me take it to black. Erase. Watch out now. This is V1. This is V2. Yes or no? Second, L2 is greater than L1 and H2 is greater than H1. So, always you need to check these 3 simple and basic formulas. Watch out here. L1, L2. Can I draw this trend line? See, I have to just go and draw this line. Never ever cut through the lines. Don't draw a trend line like this. This is wrong. Never ever draw a trend line like this. That is technically incorrect. Your trend line must always be, if you want to draw some trend line, it should be always away from the lines. In the sense, it should not pass through the candlesticks. I'll pick some more examples today. Alright, this is Cipla. Look at this. Yeah, you can draw. Some more examples. Alright. So can I take this as your can I take this as your L1? Can I? Yeah, you can. See, this high is broken. This is H2, this is H1, this is L2, this is L1. 2 values are there. Very, very simple and straightforward. Let me book some more examples. Okay. Here this is not possible. It is a support. Okay. Look at this. How many values are there? You have 3 values. So you can draw this trend line. 1. You can also draw this trend line from here to here. Ideally, if you ask me personally, I can draw a trend line like this, joining these 2. Is it sensible? Simple? Complex? Difficult? It's very simple because it's rules. Only 3 rules. Let's go further. I'll pick a couple of more examples for you. Who is this? Gail. Look at this, friends. value 1, value 2. Can you see that? Observe carefully. In these two values, you can happily make out that the three rules are met. So, I can draw trend line like this. Interesting? Okay, sounds good. Okay, let's summarize whatever we have learned. That's a valley. Valley number 1. That's the second valley. And this is high of the first valley. You can draw a trend line. Correct? Why? Because two valleys, H2 is greater than H1, L2 is greater than L1. That is H2. You got another valley. Valley 2, valley 3. Now compare value 2 and value 3. What happens? Two valleys, H3 is greater than H2, L3 is greater than L2. So, you can draw that trend line also. Pretty simple and straightforward. Trend line cannot be drawn until H1 of value 1 is broken. Until and unless you see this scenario, this H2 broken to form H3, it is not valid. Alright, let's go further. Summary of our learnings today. The three simple rules for the right way to draw a trend line. Very, very simple. I can't simplify more than this. Wrong trend lines result in wrong decisions. And finally, never ignore the rules of the game. You are all professional traders. You need to stick to the rules. If you stick to the rules, you have an edge. With this, we come to the end of the uptrend line session successfully. We will catch up again in yet another interesting story. Until then, thank you very much.